J200s, well, they are, of course, iconic in the sense of who played them. You know, I mean, they're the choice of the king and everyone in his wake. But the beautiful thing about them is the tone. It is the greatest rhythm guitar I think ever made.
The tone. That was the fabulous Greg Lake describing his love for the Gibson J-200 far more eloquently than I could ever hope to achieve. Thank you, Greg, for the fabulous music. And Greg was actually one of the people that inspired me to get into J200s. He played them throughout his career, almost exclusively, really, if you watch his videos. But thank you, Greg. God bless you. We miss you. Hey, everybody. I'm Paulie G. Welcome back to the Paulie G Show, coming to you live from high atop Mount Georgia. How are you? It's great to be back here with you. It's been far too long since I've had a chance to visit with you, but life doth intrude. So it's summer, it's hot, it's sticky, it's sunny, it's rainy, it's all my favorite things. So I love this time of year, and I hope you're having a great summer. So we're here today to do what I could pretty much guarantee will be my last installment of my Gibson J200 acquisition videos because I have found what I consider to be the be-all and end-all ultimo hombre of J200s, this 2017 burst. But it's not just any 2017 burst. I'll get into some of the specs on that. So, you know, as if you follow the channel at all, and I hope you do, you know that I have a beautiful natural J200, which I love very, very much. And more recently, I acquired this incredible wine red, ponied up for some red wine on that. Another fantastic guitar, but in the back of my mind, it was always gnawing. I want to burst, you know. And I'd been looking and looking and looking for years, and I was either priced out of them or, you know, just for a variety of reasons, hadn't pulled the trigger, didn't have the money at the time, or, you know. But anyway, I just always thought about them and looked, constantly searched on Reverb in different places. And, you know, unfortunately, I live in an area where there's fewer and fewer guitar shops. We just lost our Sam Ash. So, you know, there's not a lot of places where you can go and hope to find anything like this and actually play it and look at it. So, you know, again, we're on this, you know, buy it to try it situation. But anyway, that's a whole other story. But I've always wanted the burst because aside from the just the standard, just the beauty of it, you know, I think, you know, like a lot of my heroes, as far as like guitar players, songwriters, played them. You know, Pete Townsend, for example, obviously, you know, George Harrison famously played a 68, I think, J200 bursts. And those bursts were, if you see in those photos, they were a lot more yellow back then than they are here. They almost look kind of washed out. But they were brand new guitars for then, so they couldn't have been, you know, it's not like they were vintage pieces that they were playing. I think they got them pretty much brand new most of the time. But the other interesting thing about those 60s J200s was that a lot of them had a tunematic bridge, which was, you know, very controversial. You know, a lot of purists would say, oh, you know, metal on an acoustic guitar, you know, sacrilegious, you know. But, you know, I've played a couple of those J200s and other Gibsons that had tunемatics, and I don't know, they sounded great to me. It's a little different, I'll grant you, but I don't know, I really didn't have a problem with it. And when you consider the fact that you could adjust your string height, and more importantly, intonate every string of the guitar on an acoustic guitar. I mean, that's almost unheard of, right? So to me, that was a great thing. And, if this had had a Tune-o-matic, I still would have bought it. But a lot of people tore those off and put on, some apparatus to make it into a, conventional situation. But I never would have had a problem with it. If I saw a deal on a 68 at the right price, I'd buy it, But anyway, those were, that's one of the reasons that I had wanted this guitar. But some of the more important reasons is this is not just your standard everyday Sunburst J200. In 2017, they did this, what they call a vintage run. I don't know how many they made, but I don't think it was that many because these are pretty hard to find. I looked a long time to find this one. And there were some upgrades on it that aren't on necessarily a standard J200. For example, they did the 6-piece inlay on the mustache bridge. Sometimes you only get the 2 bars of the mother of pearl, but I like the 4-bar look and then the 2 dots on the side. I've always liked that look a little bit more. It just looks a little bit more decorative to me. Plus, just the inlays themselves are super premium mother of pearl. They almost look like abalone, really, to tell you the truth. So that to me was like a huge upgrade. But the most important upgrade on this is that it has a torrefied or a thermally aged Adirondack spruce top. And the grain on this top is just beyond stunning. I've never seen anything like it. So take a look at it here. I mean, that grain is it's just incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Certainly on a J200, maybe on a super high-end, Martin or something like that. But that was really one of the big selling points for me. And with regard to that top, the thermally aged thing, I never really, played that many of them and wasn't really sure whether it was just kind of a gimmicky thing or not. But now that I have this one as compared to 2 other, J200s that are all of similar, age, I got to say, this one definitely has a more vintage sound to it. And as soon as I strummed it, when I got it, I was like, wow, I hear the difference. I really, really do. So I'm a believer, and maybe it has something to do with the Adirondack too. I've never owned an Addy, as far as I know, acoustic. This is probably my first Adirondack top. So, but that combination makes this one sound a lot more vintagey or older than my other ones, and they're all roughly the same age. This is a 2017. It's not an old guitar. My natural is a 19, and this is a 23, I think. So, they're all kids. They're not, no vintage stuff there. My J100, that one's 20-something years old. But so those were the main reasons. One more huge reason was, so going back, several months now, Epiphone came out with a 1957 version of the J200 Burst. And I was watching the reviews. I was pretty excited about that because it's, if I can get an Epiphone for, the kind of money that they go for, it wasn't a cheap guitar. They're about $1,500, but a lot less than these, but if I could get one that was really, really good at that price, I would have gone for that. I would have definitely jumped on one of those or considered it. But again, it's one of these things where they're not in the stores. You got to buy it and just hope you like it. But they were getting really, really tremendous reviews, especially I'll shout out to my good friend Igor, Legs On channel. Check out his review of, I'll leave a link in the description, of his review of his Epiphone J200. And the sound of them was fantastic, and everything. I was all in on that until Igor, and I appreciate you very much, brother. He told me the neck is just like a baseball bat. It's so fat, and I got tiny hands. I can't do it. This has this beautiful slim neck on it, so that to me was just the absolute had to have it, selling point on this guitar. And then, the other things of it, it's just premium maple. It's so flamey, it's ridiculous. I mean, I know there's a lot of glare there, but the flame on this is pretty extraordinary, even on the neck. So for all these reasons, I just had to have it. And, this is, I got to tell you, this is my desert island acoustic guitar. If I had to be on well, first of all, let me think about that for a minute. I always wondered, how can a desert be out in the middle of the ocean? That never really made any sense to me. But if I was stranded on a desert isle and Ginger and Marianne weren't there, by the way, when I was a younger man, I was definitely all in on Ginger. But now that I'm older and a little smaller, I'm more of a Marianne guy, I'll be honest with you. But let's not get into all that. But if I was stranded on a tropical island, this would be my acoustic guitar for sure. All I would need is this and, a soccer ball to talk to. And I'd be a happy man. Fishing and strumming. That would be my life. So I'm proud to have it.
Last Sunday morning, the sunshine fell like rain. Week before, they all seem the same. But I haven't got a toothpaste, come to realize still acting strong legs, able wings to fly. No, I ain't wasting time no more. The time goes by like hurricane, faster thing. You don't need no gypsy to tell you why. Can't let a single day slip by. Look out by yourself, and if you don't see what you want, maybe sometimes then you don't. But leave your mind alone and just get high.
All right. Hey, I just want to close the show today by offering a few words of thanks. Now, I noticed that I recently hit 500 subscribers on the channel, and I'm just so appreciative of that. I don't ask for subscribers. I hope you do, but if you don't, that's okay too. There's so many people and there's so many channels out there. You can only have, you can only watch so much stuff, and I get it. So anyone that tunes in, I really appreciate it. And I'm just thrilled to have hit 500 subscribers. I can't believe 500 people want to watch, but I'm really glad you do. So I'm just hugely thankful for that. So I'll see you again very, very soon. Maybe we'll do a little sound shootout between the thermally aged top here and a newer standard one, but who knows? Offer some suggestions. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think you want to see in the coming episodes. So thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And this is just Paulie G wishing you a really happy and healthy summer. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.